Okay, let's get started. Thank you all for attending today. And I'd like to start us off by introducing myself and our guest speaker for today. My name is Jacqueline Vera, or I go by Jackie, and I am the Beneficial Electrification Manager for Actera. And our guest speaker for today is Lauren Wan. She is the Climate Program Coordinator at SunShares. And before we get started here is a little bit about Actera. We are a nonprofit organization based in Palo Alto, and our mission is to bring people together to create local solutions for a healthy planet. We have been around since 1970, the first Earth Day. That's a fun fact. And our focus is in addressing climate change while advancing equity. And we serve the 9 counties around the San Francisco Bay Area. The objective of this event is to inform and support our community in understanding solar rooftops, the cost saving and efficiency benefits of them, and how and when to get one installed yourself. So some best practices for Zoom. Please stay muted during the presentation. This meeting is being recorded. And please put any questions into the chat and we will try to answer them at the end of the presentations. We will also be sending out the presentation and the recording the following day. So before we begin with our presentations with SunShare, I would like to introduce and thank our presenting sponsor, Peninsula Clean Energy.
Great. Well, hello everyone. My name is Vanessa Shin, and I am the Community Outreach Specialist with Peninsula Clean Energy. Thank you so much for being here today and for the Actera team for convening this fabulous workshop and for inviting us to share a little bit about our mission and how we can benefit our customers. So next slide. So again, we're here with Peninsula Clean Energy. We're the local electricity provider for San Mateo County, as well as the city of Los Banos. And what we do is we are a local public agency that purchases electricity on behalf of our customers, which include residents, businesses, schools, and local governments. And we purchase this energy from clean sources like solar panels or wind turbines, geothermal, and hydropower. And so we provide the electricity that our customers use. And for solar customers, we are providing the electricity that they use when their solar panels aren't providing energy. So say at nighttime. And really, we're formed with the mission to reduce greenhouse gas emissions locally. And again, we do that by providing electricity that is 100% clean, which is virtually free of greenhouse gas emissions. And then I'm going to talk about programs that are available to residents of San Mateo County or the city of Los Banos. But if you live outside of those areas, you're likely served by a similar organization, such as Silicon Valley Clean Energy or San Jose Clean Energy, and would encourage you to check out your local electricity providers as well. Next slide. And so here's some of our community benefits. Not only do we provide electricity that is cleaner than what you would receive from PG&E, but we also pass on a little bit of savings to our customers. This comes in the form of a 5% discount on the electricity that you use, which is just a little something for our average residential customer. But then when you add it up across all of our customers, we've estimated that they've saved over $107 million since we started in 2016, which is pretty incredible. And then I also mentioned that our mission is to fight climate change locally. And so that's why I'm so excited to share that our community has helped contribute to a reduction in the emissions from electricity by 98% since we started. Next slide. And so because we have a very clean source of energy in the form of electricity, as many of you know, that's why we partner with our community to electrify everything. And what that means is that we want to get off of fossil fuels in our daily lives, including in our homes, and swapping out our appliances that run on natural gas or methane gas. And so here's some of the rebates that we have. And especially if you do go solar, going electric can help reduce your electricity bills and your energy bills overall. So just wanted to let you all know that if you're considering solar, a great next step would be electrification of all of your appliances. And so some of the main ones that I'll highlight is that we have rebates available for switching out a gas water heater to a super efficient heat pump water heater. We also have a rebate for switching out a furnace to a heat pump space heating and cooling system, which provides both heating and cooling in a single unit, which is pretty cool. And then we also have a 0% loan program in which you can finance the cost of upgrading to either a heat pump water heater or heat pump space heating and cooling system on your PG&E bill. What would happen is that you can receive a loan from us up to $10,000 at 0% interest, and then you would pay back the cost of those upgrades on your PG&E bill every month for a term of up to 5 years. So next slide. So thank you again for participating today. I'll be around to answer any questions, but yep, excited to hear more about SunShares, and thank you again for your time.
And I wanted to say thank you to Vanessa for joining us today. And also thank you to Peninsula Clean Energy for the presentation. And now I'll pass it off to Lauren.
Thank you, Jackie. Can I start sharing screen now?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me know if you can see this. Okay, great. Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Wan. I'm the Climate Programs Coordinator at BC3, which is the organization that runs SunShares. I've been with BC3 for over a year now, and this is my second time running the SunShares campaign. So super excited to tell you all about the benefits of solar, the SunShares program in particular, and then how you can take advantage of any of our clean energy options. So before I get into it, Jackie, thank you so much for inviting me and the SunShares pre-vetted installers to speak. And then thank you, Peninsula Clean Energy, for sponsoring this series. So this is a quick snapshot at this evening's agenda. First, I'll talk about why you should consider going solar or storage. I'll also talk about the SunShares program and a little bit how it works. And then we'll also look at other things to consider when you're going solar. And then we'll go into next steps and how to sign up. And afterwards, we'll have a Q&A with our installers. So first, I'll talk about why you should consider going solar or storage. And before we do that, I'm going to cover a quick solar one-on-one. So my intention for this one-on-one is for you to just understand the basic equipment that's used in the solar installation process. So while this technology might be new to some of you, it's actually pretty straightforward. So first, sunlight strikes the solar panels, and that creates direct current or DC electricity. And your home is actually powered by alternating current, so AC electricity. And then the inverter will convert DC to AC, so you can use this in your home. So I would say that the major components for a solar system are definitely the solar panels and then the inverter. Net energy metering is the concept that your electricity provider uses to manage you as a solar customer. And we'll talk about this a bit later in the presentation, and we can also address this in the Q&A. So I'll start off by saying now is a great time to go solar, and there's numerous reasons. The first reason is financial. So this fall is a really great time to go solar since you can stack both the SunShares discount and the solar federal investment tax credit to fight inflation and rising energy prices. So the investment tax credit was recently extended through 2032, and it provides homeowners a 30% tax credit for the cost of their system. We really recommend talking to a tax advisor to see if you're eligible for a tax credit. So if you're thinking about solar, if you've wanted to go solar in the past and haven't found a great time, now is a great time to do so. Environmental. So this last this next decade is one of our last chances to avoid the most severe impacts of climate change, and installing solar will not only eliminate your home's greenhouse gas emissions from electricity use, but it will also make the electrical grid cleaner for everyone. And then economics. So the solar industry is one of the leading creators of jobs in the United States, and clean energy as a whole is one of the biggest employers in the energy sector. And you can directly support renewable energy industry and clean jobs by installing solar or opting up, like Vanessa said. And resilience. So we're all seeing the impacts of climate change every day. The ongoing wildfires are just one example. So to be resilient to the effects of climate change, we need a localized, decentralized energy system, and going solar helps us get there. So this benefits not just you, but everyone else in your community. So solar panels have been around for decades and are known as a reliable technology. Home battery storage technology we use today is actually newer and it's growing in popularity. So let's talk about why adding storage to a solar system is beneficial. First and foremost, adding storage to your solar system means that your lights will stay on during a public safety power shutoff or a power outage. Solar on its own will actually not keep your electricity running during an outage. It needs a battery to store that energy and feed it back into your home. Battery storage systems that allow customization can also get you more savings on your electricity bills. So depending on where you get your power from and what kind of plan you're on, you might be on a time of use rates plan, and by charging from the grid when electricity is cheapest and then discharging your solar energy onto the grid when electricity is most expensive, you can offset more of your electricity bill with solar. And all of the battery options that are available now typically have this feature. Finally, like I said, we need a more resilient energy system, and batteries are really the key to that. So to cover some basics on solar and battery interaction, like I mentioned earlier, solar panels collect energy from the sun, and then batteries can store the excess energy that you produce with your panels. So net energy is the amount of energy you produce minus the amount of energy that you consume. So what is net energy metering? Net energy metering, also sometimes known as net billing tariff, is a billing mechanism that credits solar energy system owners for the electricity that they export to the electric grid. So for example, if a home has a solar PV system on the roof, it might generate more electricity than the home uses during daylight hours. And that electricity is usually sent back to the grid to fulfill the needs of other customers, or it's stored in a battery if that's installed. So during the nighttime when the solar system doesn't produce energy, the home is either going to pull electricity from the grid or it's going to pull from the batteries. With net metering, the customer can receive credits for electricity provided to the grid and is charged for any electricity used from the grid. So customers are then billed for their net energy use, either annually or monthly in some cases. And then in California, net energy metering is regulated by the California Public Utilities Commission. And we can talk about the recent changes with NEM later in this presentation. So what is Bay Area SunShares? Bay Area SunShares is a solar and storage discount program. So what we do at BC3 is pool the buying power of all 9 Bay Area counties to negotiate reduced prices for a limited time campaign every fall. So the goal of this program is to make clean energy more accessible and affordable, and also make the Bay Area more sustainable and resilient as a whole. So all residents of the Bay Area's 9 counties are eligible to participate in our program. And then the discount season is actually open now until November 15th. Like I mentioned earlier, all residents of the Bay Area are eligible to participate in our program. This includes these 9 counties. So if you live in any of these counties, you're eligible for the discount. And then some of our installers might provide service outside of these areas, and we really encourage you to sign up and find out if they do. So SunShares has been around the Bay Area since 2012. So it actually started as Solarize and then moved to the city of San Jose. And now it's run by the Business Council on Climate Change. So we've installed over 5.8 megawatts of solar and over 200 plus battery units in the Bay Area. And we've helped a lot of people through this process. So we're always excited to continue providing this service across the Bay Area. So you heard me mention the Business Council on Climate Change, or BC3. SunShares is a program of BC3. So BC3 is a membership-driven nonprofit originally founded by the city and county of San Francisco, which is dedicated to tackling climate change issues. So we do this through a Learn, Act, and Solve framework, which helps the Bay Area collectively accelerate meaningful climate action. And SunShares is one of the many programs that we run. Our role here today is to educate you about the SunShares program and other clean energy options so that you feel like you can make the best decision for you and your home. This is a quick snapshot of our current membership. And now we'll talk about how the SunShares program works. So there are a few different options with SunShares, and I know you're probably all at different stages in this process. Some of you might be at the very beginning stages of educating yourself about clean energy and rooftop solar. And some of you may have had solar for years and want to find a way to become even more resilient, maybe by upgrading your system or adding a battery. Either way, you're eligible for SunShares every year, no matter the situation. So SunShares installers do offer rooftop solar installations. So with solar on your home, you can generate your own clean energy and offset costs of your electricity bill. There's also the option to install both solar panels and home battery storage. So this gets you all of the benefits of solar, plus the reassurance that you have power stored in case of an outage. And then finally, if you already have solar panels installed on your roof, you have the option to add a battery unit to your existing system. So this means you can now store the energy you've been producing and keep the lights on if the power goes out. So why should you go solar with SunShares? There's a few things that set us apart from other options out there. So with SunShares, you'll be working with high quality solar installers. We at BC3 essentially do the research of finding a quality installer that we trust. So we selected 2 providers this year through a rigorous pre-vetting process. And we've made sure that they're there not to pressure you or rush you, but committed to helping you make the best decision for yourself. As part of our evaluation process, we also negotiate significant discounts off of quality solar and storage offerings from our installers off their regular pricing. And this helps Bay Area residents claim some extra savings on their solar systems. Our prices are also turnkey, meaning that they reflect the whole cost of getting solar, from equipment to labor and permitting. And then finally, with SunShares, you have the opportunity to receive and compare different proposals. That way you can get to know your options and you can feel like you can make a good decision. This comes with no commitment necessary. So you can talk to an installer and go through the process of getting a quote. With no obligation to install. There's no kind of penalty if you don't want to sign the contract in the end. So the select installers that we're working with this year are Solar Union and Solar Technologies. SunShares pre-vetted installers are chosen through a proposal evaluation and price negotiation process with an external volunteer evaluation committee. So these committee members are experts in the local solar and storage market, and they're nominated by some of our outreach partners. And then we select installers based on a number of criteria, including product offerings, quality of their customer service, and then also the competitiveness of their pricing. One thing we also do is make sure that installers are properly licensed and that they include labor and equipment warranties and system monitoring. So these are 2 installers, that we find are quality, that we trust, and we've done our homework on. So what does the SunShares process look like? To get started, you would sign up on our website by filling out a form. And in that form, you'll choose which installers you want to receive proposals from. So the installers will reach out to you about conducting a home assessment, which can be virtual or a contactless site visit. And then they'll start the process of designing a solar system for your home and creating a customized proposal. You'll receive a proposal from each installer you selected to hear from, and then you have until December 15th to sign a contract and lock in that discounted pricing that you saw in your proposal. How do you know if your house is right for solar storage? One of the most important factors for solar is the amount of sun that you'll get on your roof. So when installers contact you after you've signed up, they're going to evaluate a few different things. One of these things is your roof's exposure to sunlight, also your roof type and angle, and then your energy usage. And this will help determine your system size. And then if you're interested in battery storage, they'll also look at your backup needs. So essentially, the longer you want to be able to power your home during an outage, the greater maximum capacity you'll want in a battery. And then the more appliances or lights you want to be able to power at a time with your battery, the higher power rating you should look for. So what's happening in the solar and storage industry? Simply put, the residential solar market is rapidly changing. So last year, supply chains were hit by lingering COVID delays, increased commodity and shipping costs. So there can be supply chain disruptions and other delays at different stages of the process. A good thing to keep in mind is that the average time frame for projects is longer than the pre-pandemic project, and then it will also differ between installers. New incentives and rebates are coming out. So, like I mentioned earlier, the Inflation Reduction Act was passed, which includes an extension of the 30% solar investment tax credit for 10 more years. And NEM 3.0 or NBT will apply to those installing solar this year. The current demand for solar and batteries is also really high right now. So a lot of people are realizing that now is an important time to switch to clean energy. So the timeline of installation is truly dependent on your project needs. If you need a re-roof, what kind of insulation you're getting. There are definitely changes in the solar process that reflect the current industry, and we encourage you to talk to installers about the specifics of your project in mind. So one thing I mentioned earlier, last August, the Inflation Reduction Act was signed into law. So this includes the expansion of the solar investment tax credit, also known as the ITC. And the solar ITC was increased to 30% and extended for 10 more years. So anyone who installs solar before 2032 can claim this tax credit on federal income taxes for a percentage of the cost of their solar system. We recommend talking with a tax advisor about eligibility and also how to claim this tax credit. One policy that also went into effect in this April is the change in net energy metering. So residents who install solar after April will enroll in net billing tariff or NBT, also known as NEM 3.0. So this mechanism is similar to NEM 2.0 as it credits the customers for energy sent back to the grid. But there are some key differences between NEM 2.0 and NBT. So customers under NBT are required to use an electrification rate instead of time of use. And these electrification rates have higher on-peak charges and lower off-peak charges than NEM 2.0, yet they still share a peak period of 4 to 9 p.m. NBT customers are also billed monthly rather than annually. And then export compensation under NBT is based off of different export rates, which are specific to the month, hour, weekday, weekend. So for example, the export value of solar energy is lower during the middle of the day when there's ample sun, and it's higher during the evening hours when there's less sun out. So the value of export compensation is usually lower than the retail rate, but it can rise above the retail rate on some late summer or fall evenings. Batteries with storage systems with preferential exporting are a great way to make use of energy that would normally be sent to the grid for a low value. So for full transparency, NBT or NEM 3.0 is really new policy for California solar, and a lot of industry stakeholders are still navigating how to proceed under this policy. So ultimately, the payback for solar and battery systems under NBT will look different than those who are on NEM 2.0. However, going solar and storage is still advantageous for electricity bill savings, and this is dependent on how you design a system with a solar installer. So if you want to go solar this year or you're thinking about it, we encourage you to work closely with installers so that you can design a system that's best for you and with your savings in mind. So now I'll go into next steps and walk you through how to sign up. So if you're interested or if you want to get on the list for the discount, we'd suggest you sign up and fill out the form at this hyperlink before November 15th. That is the last day to get on the list for the SunShares discount. Then the installers will contact you and they'll work with you to create a customized proposal. So you'll have time to review those proposals you receive. And then if you decide to go solar, sign your contract before December 15th so you can lock in that discounted pricing you saw on your proposals. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for inviting me and the SunShares pre-vetted installers to talk about, SunShares and solar and PCE for sponsoring this series. Again, if you're interested in SunShares, there's no commitment necessary. So you can sign up and talk to an installer for free. Don't be shy. They're more than happy to help. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lauren, for presenting. Now we'll go into questions, and we have two installers with us today to answer our questions. So our first question is from Harold. Has SunShares installed solar rooftops / solar shingles?
Yeah, this is a great question. David, do you want to talk about what kind of mounting or roofs Solar Union works on, and then we'll go to Jason?
Yeah, we work on all types of roofs. So whether it be wood shingle or asphalt shingle or flat roofs, foam roofs, ground mounts, metal roofs. Most roofs out there, we have industry leading 25-year attachment warranty on all that as well. Let's see, as far as the solar tiles and all that, we're just doing the standard solar panels that you've seen, but not necessarily like the solar roof or shingle just yet.
I'll go to our next.
Oh, sorry about that, Jackie.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to check with Jason, what kind of roofs do you install on, and do you do any ground mounting?
Yeah, so similar on the roof types. We basically install on all different roof types. We for a while now we have not done ground mounts, just to be transparent. So for example, I've worked with a lot of customers like in the East Bay area, so it can be sometimes a little more hilly or not like a big open area that you might have out like in the valley. So for us, it wasn't like too cost effective to do ground mount. So just it's good for everyone to know that. But otherwise, every roof type.
I'll go to our next question from Gail. Is replacing the roof itself available through the partners or roofers that work with them?
I'll jump in maybe first. Our approach is basically we don't do roofing ourselves, but in different parts of the Bay Area, we've had good experience, or at least homeowners that were really happy with roofers we've worked with. So like there are certain cases where we might need to coordinate while the roof is being installed to install our solar mounts, for example. And it's just a matter of being well coordinated with the roofer. So we can recommend roofers that our customers have been really happy with, and you can at least get a quote that way. But we can coordinate with any roofer as needed.
I would say the same. Yeah, we have roofers that we can recommend, but we could work with any roofer and coordinate with them all day long. So happy to help you with that.
And the following question is from Harold. Has SunShares installed any ground-mounted solar panels?
Jackie, I think we actually got this one.
Okay,
So
sorry about
Solar
that.
Union, yes. And then Jason Solar Technologies hasn't done ground mounts in a while.
And so the next question is, has SunShares installed hybrid solars and off-grid systems?
Yeah, well, it will be kind of a hybrid system in the fact that if the power goes out, we can install a battery backup system. And again, we're using what we believe to be one of the best engineered, efficient, direct systems with that. But as far as completely off grid, no, because we're still going to be, working within the utility companies and getting this all permitted and everything like that. But essentially, if the power goes out, then yes, you can maintain yourself with off grid for whether it be an hour, a day, a week. It'll still continue to produce for you.
And the next question is from Alex. Has SunShares used I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, ballless mount on not sure how to pronounce that. So if someone
Eichler
panels. Thank you.
Like ballast system on a Eichler roof, probably. So we've done that on larger commercial jobs, and this question is because some people can get concerned, like an Eichler roof might be similar to a foam roof, or just it has exposed ceiling on the inside, so you can see the beams inside the house. And so one approach would be to have a ballast system where you have like weights on the roof that are actually holding down the panels. You don't need to do a lag bolt into the rafter. We haven't done that approach on residential, but we definitely do work on Eichler homes. To us, the key is we bring in a licensed roofer so they can make all the stanchions watertight that are going into the beam. And that's kind of how we would approach that.
And the following question is, does SunShares install on flat roofs with TPO?
Yes, again, our motto is no roof left behind. I know there's a lot of companies out there that once you say like flat roof or anything besides composite shingle, then they just like, oh, sorry, we can't help you. But that's where we like to shine again, and we can work on all roof types, including flat. Yes, TPO, foam, tar and gravel, all that.
I was just going to chime in. It's like a TPO roof or a membrane roof. Again, it's good we like to have a licensed roofer. So just so people know the process, if you have an existing roof, we will go and install the solar stanchions, which go in kind of a lag bolt into the rafters. But then the licensed roofer does a flashing around that post. So it kind of integrates with the existing roof type. So if it's like a heat torch, just like a roofer would make plumbing pipes watertight, it's just becoming part of the roof. If you're doing a new roof, that's the case where we just coordinate with the roofer. So the roofer would likely build that part into the roof bid. So we would be there during the re-roof, and the roofer would say, X amount of dollars per stanchion. They will flash our stanchions in with the roof, and that would be part of the roofing project.
We have one last question from Philip. For those who have an existing system of solar panels and batteries under NEM2, does expanding the system change the entire system, parentheses, legacy, and new components to NEM3?
Good question. Let's see. Well, you can add on to it. They give you like a certain percentage. I believe it was like up to 10% under NEM 1 and 2 that you could add on. But there's some people out there that add on to their systems and they call it a silent expansion. So whether you tell PG&E or not is up to you. But yeah, those are just some points to consider while thinking about that.
And I believe we covered all the questions posted in the chat. If you have any more questions, please post them in the chat. We will also be posting a link to our end survey. And right now I'll be sharing the screen to share some upcoming events we have. But
I have a
do you
question.
have one? Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Ahmed. This is for David or Jason. We have a roof. It's metal, but it looks like Spanish tiles. But I know we didn't have enough sun. But we have in the front of the house a deck. I know. I understand you did not do mount solar panels and mounting ground mount. Can you look at it and see? Give us, for example, an estimate, or if it's possible to do it, because we have plenty of sun in the front of the house.
I would suggest signing up through SunShares, and then we'll definitely reach out to you and definitely give you a consultation and proposal on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would agree. There are some installers that don't install on those metal shingle type roofs. And then the software we use, both of us, I think now these days, it's just very granular. So we can even let you know, like, if there's any doubt about how much sun exposure you would have on a particular area of the property, or just confirm, yes, you'll get a good amount of solar production, and this kind of what a design would look like.
Yeah, in summer we have plenty of sun over the roof, but in winter, because we have a mountain behind us, the sun goes almost behind the mountain. We didn't, but in the front we still have sun. That's the only concern.
Yeah, it's definitely sounds like definitely worth looking at. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Just want to thank Lauren, Jason, and David for coming and answering questions and presenting to us. This is Lauren's email in case you need to contact her, and also the SunShares website. And so we have an upcoming financial incentive clinic. Financial incentive clinic is, we have a presentation informing residents on available rebates and incentives when purchasing an electric vehicle, and that will be happening on October 18th. Crystal has been posting helpful links in the chat, so the links to register is in the chat. We also have an electric vehicle frunk or treat on October 29th. Electric vehicles have a trunk in the front. So come and see this cute event. And our next Green at Home workshop is on heat pump water heaters on November 1st. And just a reminder to complete the post survey. It'll be linked in the chat, and we'll also be emailing everybody a recording of this webinar and the presentations and other links that have been posted in the chat. And before we end, oh wait. Oh, I just saw a new message. We have one more question. So, are there any issues tying into an existing solar system?
We just have to take a look at what your current setup is and see how we can integrate it. But yes, we work on retrofitting systems.
And then there's another question in the chat that says, is anyone else? Oh wait, I guess someone was asking if anyone's attending the climate change summit tomorrow.
That's sponsored by Thrive Alliance, by the way.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Is that the one in San Mateo?
Nope.
Oh no, oh wait.
No, they're actually based in Redwood Shores, but this is the second summit that they've done. I was at the first one, which, you know, I can't remember if it was before. I think it was during the time of COVID, but it was just excellent. And I think they'll cover this subject, by the way.
Oh, thank you for sharing that resource. Is there any last questions before we end the webinar? Just making sure everyone's questions have been answered.
We have a few more at the bottom of the chat, Jackie.
Let me see. I think Lauren has answered some of them. They're about the contracts with SunShares. Or am I not seeing them?
You got it.
Okay. Just double checking that everybody's questions have been answered. And if you have any more questions, you can always contact me or Lauren and we'll connect you with the right person. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming and joining us at another Green at Home workshop. Hope to see you at the next one.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your night.